are coming up this morning. Ghana to host ECOWAS heads of state in Accra for the 50th anniversary of the sub-regional body. Minister for Lands and Natural Resources exposes what he describes as a well-organized criminal syndicate operating under the name of Akonta Mining Company Limited. Also coming up this morning, Ghana Armed Forces retrieves empty M16 rifle magazine, AK-47 rifle and G3 rifles during search operations in Boku. Many thanks for joining us this morning. Let's settle for the details now into our first story. Ghana will be hosting the heads of state and government of all 15 member states of the Economic Community of West African States, which is ECOWAS, in Accra for the next 2 days. This is to celebrate the 50th anniversary of ECOWAS, which will also see the unveiling of the ECOWAS Golden Jubilee logo and theme, alongside celebrating the bloc's history and achievements. The launch marks the beginning of the year-long series of commemorative activities across member states, as endorsed by the ECOWAS Conference of Heads of State and Government. A key highlight of the two-day event will be the participation of the leaders of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, who withdrew from the bloc in January 2025 after staging coups in their countries, which ECOWAS insisted was a breach of its democratic tenets. President Mahama personally invited the leaders of the three countries after visiting their respective countries as a way of diplomatically reintegrating them into the bloc. Established in 1975 in Lagos, Nigeria, ECOWAS was created to promote economic integration and collective self-reliance among West African nations. Current membership include Benin, Cape Verde, Cote d'Ivoire, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Nigeria, Senegal, Sierra Leone and Togo. Now, away from that, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has exposed what he describes as a well-organized criminal syndicate operating under the name of Akonta Mining Company Limited. Emmanuel Ama Kofi-Boa said although the company was legally granted a lease to mine off reserve, the company illegally invaded protected forest reserves in Samraboy enclave of the Western North region, selling access to the Aboy Forest Reserve for 300,000 cedis per concession.
One of the most egregious cases we have uncovered involves Akonta Mining Company Limited, a company legally registered and granted a government lease to mine responsibly off reserve outside the forest.
In what has been described as one of the boldest moves yet in the fight against illegal mining, the government of Ghana has uncovered and disrupted a deeply entrenched illegal mining operation allegedly orchestrated by Akonta Mining Company Limited, a firm with a legitimate lease to mine off reserve, but now accused of criminally abusing that privilege to destroy protected forest reserves.
Your company, however, does not possess an entry permit into the forest reserve of the Samraboy enclave of the Western North region. Yet, investigations reveal that Akonta Mining has flagrantly abused this lease.
Although Akonta Mining had a legal lease to operate outside forest reserves, Minister Boa revealed the company had been operating illegally within the Samraboy enclave in the Western North region, specifically in protected areas of the Aboy and Tano Nimri forest reserves.
This company has not only trespassed into protected reserves, but has become a criminal syndicate, selling access of the Aboy Forest Reserve to illegal miners for a staggering 300,000 Ghana cedi per concession. Worse, these illegal miners operate under Akonta's protection, devastating the river Tano and surrounding forests with impunity. They have encroached compartments 49, compartment 121 of the Tanom Nimri Forest Reserve. We gathered a team of investigators to go undercover to make inquiries about the details of these operations. Our undercover team uncovered a well-oiled machinery of destruction, One representative of Akonta Mining, i.e., is the liaison of these dealings. He serves as the gatekeeper, negotiating fees and granting illegal access. The concessions are then subleased to individuals like one Mr. Henry and another individual identified as Shak, who are to oversee the devastation of the Abois Forest Reserve and the Tano River.
The most damning revelations by the minister include sale of access to forest reserves of 300,000 Ghana cedis per concession to illegal miners, protection of illegal miners who, in turn, pay royalties of 250 grams of gold weekly to Akonta Mining.
As part of the agreement between Akonta Mining and the illegal miners, a weekly royalties of 250 grams of gold are to be paid to the company, lining the pockets of Akonta's collaborators. Another breakthrough revelation is that this criminal enterprise thrives because of the active collusion and connivance of some forestry officers and some security personnel. Here is how it works. Part of the 300,000 Ghana cedi fees goes to the Akonta Mining, a portion goes to Sahari and Shak and their cohorts, and another portion goes to the forestry and security officials, according to investigators.
Even more troubling was the discovery that the illegal operations flourished with the active connivance of some forestry officials and security personnel who took a portion of the illegal fees in return for protection and tip-offs. The corrupt network ensured that raids were avoided and enforcement weakened, making the destruction of forests and river bodies a smooth and uninterrupted business for Akonta and its agents, according to the minister.
These officers take a cut as a service charge in exchange for protection and tip-offs in the event of an impending raid.
The minister announced swift and decisive actions in the wake of the findings. Godwin Asedeba, TV3.
Now away from Galamsey activities, the Ghana Armed Forces GAF, I beg your pardon, in its efforts to assist the civil authorities to maintain law and order in Boko and its environs has intensified operations in response to ongoing clashes and intermittent gunfire in the area. As part of these efforts, troops have conducted a series of cordon and search operations aimed at restoring calm and enhancing security.
In the early hours of Monday, April 21, 2025, troops deployed at Binduri heard sporadic gunshots coming from the Binduri Central Market area. Personnel swiftly moved to the location and cordoned off the area. According to the military statement, a combined team from the 11th Mechanized Battalion and the Joint Task Force supported by the police proceeded to conduct detailed search operations to identify and apprehend those involved. During the operation, one suspected gunman was arrested and handed over to the police. It said items retrieved during the search included one empty M16 rifle magazine, an AK-47 rifle, a G3 rifle, 370 rounds of M16 and AK-47 ammunition, 128 rounds of G3 ammunition, a machete, 4 fragmentation jackets, a pair of boots, and 1 helmet. Later in the day, some unknown gunmen tried to infiltrate Binduri, but military personnel on patrols prevented the infiltration. This led to an exchange of fire between the military and the unknown gunmen who fled the scene. The situation, according to the military, is currently under control and troops remain on high alert to respond to any emerging threats. The statement concluded that the Ghana Armed Forces, working closely with other security agencies, remain committed to safeguarding the peace and security of Boko, urging residents and the general public to support ongoing efforts to restore normalcy.
The Catholic and Bishops Conference of Ghana has called on all bishops, priests, religious members across the country to unite in prayer and offer masses and moments of silence for the soul of their pontiff, Pope Francis. In a press statement issued and signed by the president of the Catholic Bishops Conference, Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Gyamfi, the Bishops Conference also announced a scheduled national memorial mass at a later date in coordination with Archbishop Henry Jegodzinski, the Apostolic Nuncio to Ghana. As a result, all dioceses and parishes across Ghana are encouraged to organize local requiem masses and prayer services within the octave, which is 80 days following this announcement. Again, Catholic institutions, schools and organizations are requested to fly the vacation or the Vatican flag at half-mast until the burial of Pope Francis as a sign of reverence and mourning. According to the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Pope Francis led the Universal Church with profound humility, compassion, and a relentless dedication to justice. And we commiserate with all Catholics across the country and the world. But moving away from that, many patients battling cancer are bearing the brunt of the frequent breakdown of the radiotherapy machines at the country's two major cancer treatment centers, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital and the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital. The situation has delayed many patients from accessing life-saving radiotherapy treatment. A report by Portia Gabo.
I had my surgery in August, and until now I have not had radiotherapy. And from what I've read and what I've heard from oncologists, radiotherapy should be done at most within 6 months. I'm in my 8th month and I have not had radiotherapy yet. Not because I'm not ready for it, but the machine keeps breaking down at Kolebu. And Komfanoche too happens to be the same. So here I am, willing to fight, but the system is not helping me.
This is the frustration of Rukmini Ajeti, a patient fighting cancer. According to the National Cancer Institute, radiotherapy is a cancer treatment that uses high doses of radiation to kill cancer cells and shrink tumors. Ghana has about 2 of such machines, one at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra and the other at the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital in Kumasi. One private healthcare facility also has the machine. But the challenge is the machines at both Komfanoche and Kolebu frequently breaking down, leaving many cancer patients stranded.
I am to pay 13,650 at Kolebu. But as it stands now, I can't even do it at Kolebu. I'm doing it at Sweden, Ghana, possibly, if I get that fund. And Sweden, Ghana is charging me 37,500 cedis, which is 3 times what I would have paid at Kolebu if the system was working.
When you bring tumor, ya course treatment na manaba do radiotherapy almost 4 months.
My granddaughter has a brain tumor. We started a treatment and have to undergo radiotherapy. But for 4 months, the machine keeps breaking down. I'm appealing to government to either service or get Kolebu a new machine. Even if the machine is fixed today, Rukmini may not still access the crucial treatment.
Already now there's some nipple discharge. I'm told that there are some unusual cells developing. So I got scared. And the doctor told me point blank, I was like, Rukmini, our hands are tied. We wish we could do so much, but as you know, the system, the machine is breaking down. And even as I speak to you, it's broken down. And even when they fix it, the backlog is much. But the truth is, cancer does not wait.
Dr. Bewa Osebunso is a consultant clinical radiation oncologist at the National Radiotherapy and Nuclear Medicine Unit's Oncology Directorate at the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital. Every year, the center receives around 850 to 1,200 new cancer cases with 16 to 20,000 patient visits.
For all cancer patients, about 60% of them will require radiotherapy at a point in time of the management of their cancer. So radiotherapy is a very important aspect of the management. The challenge we are having now is a frequent breakdown of our machine because it's only one machine. And when it does, you need to wait on this being fixed. And like I keep saying that treating cancer is like killing a snake. Once you initiate the action, go on, make sure you kill it. Now, if you don't kill it and it gets back to bite you, it bites you with a lot of venom.
Efforts to get a response from the Kolebu Teaching Hospital were unsuccessful. Last year, the situation was dire, compelling oncologists at the Confanochi Teaching Hospital to withdraw their services.
We are receiving referrals from 12 of the 16 regions of the country, and this is the only radiotherapy center in the northern sector of the country. So it's like every 10 million people have access to one machine. When the International Atomic Energy Agency feels that about every million people should have access to one treatment machine. And then when the machine breaks down, the engineers need to work on it. They may require a part, which is important. And when that happens, it could take any time for you to get the part fixed. And all these patients are waiting. And it's not the best. For me, to run a center effectively, one shouldn't think about having only one machine, at least two.
Now, cancer patients like Rukmini are making a passionate appeal to health authorities to immediately bring permanent solution to the unending problem of the frequent breakdown of the radiotherapy machines at the Confanochi and Kolebu teaching hospitals. Portia Gabo, TV3 News, Accra.
A disturbing one indeed, but away from that, residents of Domiabra, a remote community in the Wasa East municipality of the Western region, say they are living in fear as they face occasional robbery attacks. The lack of police presence coupled with the poor condition of the only access road makes it nearly impossible for security personnel to respond swiftly during emergencies. There is more in the following report.
Domiabra has an estimated population of 3,000. The community, located in the Wasa East municipality of the Western region, lacks basic social amenities. The road connecting the community is in a deplorable state. The area has no health facility to address the basic health needs of the people. The rough condition of the road places pregnant women in precarious circumstances. Our road is very deplorable. We even had to carry pregnant women on our heads, and when the assemblyman intervened, but it still needs improvement. We also don't have a health facility. There are also criminals who own weapons here, so we are calling on government and the police commander to assist us. The assemblyman for the area, Yaudakon, wants authorities to come to the aid of the people.
As for security, we are facing a lot of challenges here. So we are pleading the government to support us. The commander here, Wasekopong, we are pleading to him that we need his support so that he can help us and make maybe the police post or patrol the town for us always. Because a lot of the armed robbers are here. Always you hear them attacking the goat buyers and the civilians. So we are praying that the government should come to our aid and support us with the police. Maybe we can have more police posts here so that it will help the community. About the chip compound, my community and I, as a man here, with our support, we have been able to build our chip compound. As I'm speaking to you, not yet completed, but I hope by the end of the year we will try our best to complete the compound. So the only thing we need the government is we need nurses and the equipment we use for the distance, the chip compound to be used.
Residents complain that they are periodically targeted by robbers, but struggle to get a response from the police.
Ahano yeshe ekropon ase. Nse bibi ni ban police station assembly are say yeko ekropon. Ono say ekropon police for no ekropon police station na ho no so bibi ni ofra say bia wabese mu nyedu ana ase bia wo nye obi a obi nimu a se bibi se emergency pa na ofra say omomla pa de be de nse bibi ba.
We fall under the Akropon police jurisdiction, so we always fall on them when in need. But the police mostly do not respond to us unless the assemblyman calls them. There was a robbery incident here last week. We called the police for several times, but they never heeded to us. Our security here is not the best. Though local police would not speak officially about the occasional robbery attacks, they indicated that the service is working to address the situation. For TV3 News, I am Akwasi Ado.
And on this note, we end today's morning bulletin, but that would not be all. New Day continues right after the weather. My name is Safwa Bwahini. Do stay tuned and have a lovely day.